Yo, yo.
What is going on, everybody? Allow us to reintroduce ourselves.
We back. Hey, we back. I got a
We
little
back.
thing going on. We back, man. It's been a long minute, I feel like.
Yeah, been probably 2 months to the day almost.
I think so,
Just
yeah.
about. Yeah,
I grew the long old beard and everything, dude.
I know. My beard's probably the bushiest it's ever been myself.
Gotta have
That's
it going. Gotta have it going strong, man. It's done me well through the winter weather, although it was
yeah.
pretty mild winter.
What up?
Ricky, what up?
Hell yeah.
Uh,
The people they're piling in.
I feel like I'm throwback styled now that I'm moved back into the room.
hmm Yeah, the OG. If anybody wants to jump back to the beginnings of Mondays for the Mind and everything.
Yeah.
Beard approved. We got a ways to go before we catch up with your beard, sir. That's for sure.
I'm gonna let mine keep going.
New
I just
location, a new location. It's an oldie,
old
but it's a goodie.
location. It's a
It's a
throwback. We're in the
it's
throwback
the OG
location.
location.
And same spot, literally same spot. And it's like,
Yeah,
dang, I remember like 2 years. No, yeah, it's
yeah,
about 2 years ago,
well,
maybe
yeah,
that I moved on out there. So yeah,
mhm,
and a nice little throwback here. But
yeah,
now I actually just got like some beard stuff in. I've never really had a long beard. So I just got some beard stuff in the mail that's like vanilla spiced vanilla scented.
yeah. As everybody knows, I had the long hair going there for a minute, longest my hair had ever been in my life, and I eventually couldn't stand it anymore. So the moment we wrapped on Exorcism last year, I shaved this motherfucker, and it's growing back now, and it's at that point that I hate the most, where it's just like either be short or be long. Because
Be
right
sure.
now it's like there's nothing I can do with it. It always looks like shit. It's too hot to wear a hat, and so I just kind of have to live with it or
I,
shave it all off.
I think that's what helps with, like I was telling you earlier, how it feels like exorcism, like we made that so long ago. And I feel like
Yeah,
those are reasons why, because you shaved your head right afterwards. So you look
mhm.
completely different than you
Yeah,
do in there. And it just makes it like it's great because we want to, it's supposed to be at the beginning, but it makes it feel like it really is like a few years old when it's not even six
yeah,
months old yet?
yeah. It's been a while. We've been out of the saddle for a minute, like you said. I mean, I think we wrapped filming on that in probably September, I
Right.
believe, if not maybe even August.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. That is
uh,
true.
so it's been a while since we've filmed any sort of Chase and Ship thing. It's been at least 2 months since we've done a Monday show. We had contemplated not even coming back this year, uh, but we were jonesing, and I feel like that usually happens.
I don't
Eventually,
think
we're
it was,
just like,
yeah,
oh, we gotta get back.
I don't think it's much of a contemplation. It was
No,
just like, "We're gonna
no, I
take a
think we
break. We'll be back."
I think we both knew that was bullshit when we said we were going to take the year off.
Yeah, and but the little break was nice, man, you know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
I had a lot going on myself with moving Erin and her kids in here and, get them going on schools and time zone differences, changing of schedules, so,
Yeah.
having that break of something that you didn't have to worry about, like, "Okay, I'm going to this Monday thing here now," so it was nice, you know what I'm saying? Got us nice and settled.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a nice little break. It was nice to, like, Mondays would roll around and there wasn't that, like, oh shit, that's right. I have a show to do tonight, and having to, worry about all that, just getting to be with baby boy growing up. He turns 9 months like in a week.
That's fucking
Uh,
wild.
it is, man. And, it's been rad. For anybody who's watched the show for a long time, I've always wanted to be a dad. So I'm over here living the dream, being a dad and making movies. That's all I've ever wanted to do. So I'm doing just that. Uh, and yeah, man, things have been pretty good. I can't complain.
It's
Uh,
true.
in those 2 months, I mean, we haven't just been sitting on our asses either. We uh, shot a new short film. I guess now I can divulge information about it. Um, uh, I just forgot the title. It's called "An Affair at the End of Time," is what the title is. And oh, thank you. I don't know who this woman is, uh, but yeah, "An Affair at the End of Time," starring Catherine Bokenkamp, who we've worked with frequently, um, and uh, Miles Valentine for the very first time. I've been trying to work with that guy for years, and so it was a pleasure to finally get to work with him. Oh, Ricky in the comments section, he was a big help on this as well, running the camera. Biggest cheerleader of ours.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're allowed to say what we were making it for or not, but it doesn't matter because it didn't make the cut. So we're gonna bring it to you
At
somehow.
some point,
Our
yeah.
plan is to hit the film festivals with it, just like we've kind of Exorcism, we didn't make it to do the festival circuit,
But it
but as
got
you
there
see
somehow.
below, it did get there, and we are beyond grateful for it. We're beyond stoked.
It's pretty fly, dude. We haven't really been live since, it played that first
Wow.
time down there in Florida, and to see the names attached to that same,
Yeah, that was wild,
con is like, "Wait, you telling me Loki's sitting there at the same
right?
place our movie's playing within that building? He ain't gonna watch it, I get that,
Right,
but,
yeah.
like,
None of these people saw Exorcism, but they were all in the same building as our
that's what
movie, and
matters,
that
yeah.
is good
They
enough for
they
me,
they
man.
could have seen it. By
Right.
somehow, they could have seen it, and,
Any of the
you
OG
know,
Power Rangers, the Stranger Things kids, Danny Trejo,
so many
old
people.
Paul Bettany, Vision.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking man, that list went on and on and on and on and on, and it's funny because we didn't know this until literally after our screening.
Yeah, it's
That's when
true.
Shep decided to Google this, and he sent it to me. He's like, "Have you seen this?" I have not.
I didn't know it was attached, to its own,
To
like,
like a
within the
bigger
con.
convention,
Yeah,
MegaCon is
yeah.
what it's called.
I didn't know it was attached to the MegaCon, so
Mhm.
when I looked into it, when I saw them be like, "Stop by our booth at MegaCon and make sure you catch the short," and I was like, "Wait a second, I thought this was, like, its own,
Right.
little horror festival for, oh, man, I forget, was it Splattered Ink or something like that? What was it?
Indie Horror Junkie.
Indie Horror Junkie,
Yeah.
that's it.
The Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival is
And
what
I thought
that
that
was
that
for.
was what it was, but it's within a bigger con, so that was
Yeah,
pretty dope,
had
man.
no
That
idea.
was pretty
Which, I
dope
mean,
to
I don't know
find
if you saw, for any, fan of, indie horror, I guess, like, the Soska sisters were there. They've done some, indie stuff. The only movie of theirs I've ever really seen was American Mary, which admittedly I wasn't crazy about at the time. I was much younger when I saw that movie, so I think I might feel differently now, but
True.
um,
I've never
it
seen
was cool. I saw that they stopped by the booth. Again, I don't know if they actually saw. I don't know if anybody saw our fucking movie, to be honest, because nobody reached out to us after that. We never heard anything from anybody, but that's okay, man.
it.
We saw some pictures. It looked like everybody had a good time, and we were just, honored to be a part of it. Like it's just for a guy who's been, trying his whole life to make movies and stuff. Like to get that first film festival was like wow, and we weren't even there. We weren't
You
even
weren't
there
even
for
there.
it.
But we will be at this one
Yes.
belowhand, we are gonna be at the one in Chicago, and that will
Mhm.
be a fun experience. I do hope to, somehow film some of it so we can at least try to bring some of what we get to experience
Definitely,
to the people at home,
definitely.
so you
Yeah.
guys can see, because 'cause I've never done anything like that before, and
Hit
it's
us for
crazy
that May monthly for the mind, and
'cause,
we'll
I've
get you
done music forever, so you would think that at least I would be like, "Well, I've done a music festival," or some no, no, no music festival, nothing. This would be the very first festival that I will be at that I'm like, "I've got something in this here,"
yeah, yeah.
you know?
I'm excited, I wish we could have been at the one in Orlando because I was talking to Phil about this yesterday where it's like, yeah, it's cool that, we were a part of it. But it would have been cooler if somebody was watching it and then like turns around and is like, "Hey, you're those guys." It's like, "Yeah, we are those guys," and like being able to like network a little bit more and stuff. But hey, we got Chicago, and we're definitely squadding up and heading that way. And fingers crossed we don't play the 15 seater because we're gonna fill it up.
True.
And then nobody new will have seen The Exorcism by the time that festival's over too.
Hey, that's all good though, because maybe if they take pictures during it, at least it'll look like a packed house for you boys. So,
Right.
it's all about that social media presence, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. But it's really dope. It's like I said, it's really rad to me, and,
Yeah.
like, it's just the start of that too,
Yeah.
is where
And
I
that's
look
like
at it.
yeah, that's like what I was saying is like, Exorcism was not meant to be like a festival runner, like it was something that old Ricky hit us up and was like, "Hey, I think you should submit to this festival in Orlando." It's like, "Okay," and then, that led me to submitting to the Chicago one as well. I only submitted we're 2 for 2, so our batting average is 100%, and, I'm not submitting to any more, for this one, it's
We're
100%.
completely done. That's it. So now for the
Yeah.
rest of our time, we can say, "Hey, we've gotten to every film
Yeah,
festival
every
we've
film
submitted
festival we've
to."
ever submitted to, we've made it, but, it's so funny because, like, I see all these other films that have gotten in, and they so clearly, like, this was their intention, was to do the festival run and all that stuff, and I'm, like, filling this stuff out, and they're, like, asking for, like, a press kit and stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, we don't have that. Here's some pictures of Tyler," you know? It's like, that's what we got,
Yep.
but it's cool. I feel like this was our putting our toes in the water a little bit, kind of feeling it out what this kind of stuff is like, and that's given us the confidence to keep going for it. And now, moving forward, now we are thinking more intentionally about festivals and whatnot. And so, yeah, a fair at the end of time, we're gonna start sending around to festivals and see how that does. Eventually, we'll find a way to bring it to you, wonderful people, to
To the
check that
people.
out for yourselves.
To the people.
But yeah, uh, so stacked year ahead of us.
It is, man. You know, we got the our annual 420 getting close
Mhm,
is coming up. So that
mhm,
was uh that was the first for me, you hitting me up being like, "Hey, why don't you go ahead and, get this
mhm.
idea thought out, written out and send it out and whatnot." So there is I feel like it would, it's not finished, we
Right,
gotta
yeah.
we gotta fluff it. That's what I was telling Corey
Mhm.
today. I said we gotta add a lot of fluff to it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
now that we know we're gonna fluff it up. But
I feel like this one is, like, the most legitimately written by Chase and Shep that
yeah,
any of them have ever been. I feel like usually if you see written by Chase and Shep in the credits, it's because we didn't have a script. We just made shit up on the fly. But yeah, this
or
time I was
yeah,
like, "You know what, dude? Why don't you take point on this?" Because I was busy with a fair, and ultimately we were going to do Easter Sunday too, and as some of you may have saw, we nixed that from the schedule for a lot of reasons. I
Easter
don't
just
think it
came
was
up.
any one thing.
Easter just comes too quick this year, man. If
Yeah,
Easter was more so in April, I had much more time to really ink it out and think it out. But
yeah.
when we're looking at our world per se, it's just like,
Mhm.
we're doing it just to do it right now,
Mhm.
but we don't have to do it because we already have an idea later on for this. So
Right.
let's just, instead of stressing, let's just hit that later on.
And I feel like going into year 4, it's kind of like, I know we don't have to do better every single time, but I like the fact that we usually try to do something a little different every time.
Yeah.
And this didn't feel very different. This felt like, I mean, there was a lot that I was excited about with it. I think it would have been our funniest, our most action packed, our most like horror driven. But we just simply did not have the time to make that as good as it could be and 420 as good as it could be. So it's like, well, one of these has to go. And it just felt wrong to get rid of a 420 special. We've had one of those every single year. So to skip one out
It
just
would.
didn't feel right. So,
It would feel really weird.
but we won't say too much about it now, but I assure you that come next Easter, we are paving the way for a big event. So hang tight. And if you know, you know. But
If you
if
don't,
not,
you'll find out. You'll find out. It's going to be, I mean, yeah. And it's going to be good. And then it's, like you were saying, we were talking before we went live, there's a lot of stuff we got lined up to
Mhm,
try to knock out this year.
mhm.
So like once the ball gets rolling, the ball ain't stopping.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Phil and I were talking about that because we've been, uh, you know, having talks of up in Earth 217 studios a little bit more outside of the Chase and Shep realm, and doing a little bit more outside of that. Affair would be our first, I guess, outside of Chase and Shep. But our second one is right around the corner. We start production on my short film called Flippin' Susie this May is when we're going to start rolling on that. And I'm stoked for that. We got Mercedes De Silva is playing Susie. I'm playing Flip. Taylor Haller, who played the Explorer, and Exorcism is in it as well as the third lead. Uh, awesome cast. It's some dark shit. It's there's a stark contrast between like the stuff you and I write and the stuff that Phil and I write. It's like literally night and day. Like ours, when ours is dark, at least it's fun. Like when we go dark over there, it's like it's fucking dark.
To be fair, we've had pretty dark ideas, I feel like,
For
come
sure.
about, but we've just never been like, "Yo,
Yeah,
this is the one, we're gonna do this," because we have thought of like, "Oh, this guy should go in with a gun and just, like, take his whole
yeah.
family down at the end of this."
Help, one that got cut very recently was Exorcism. Everybody loved old Next Door Dave in Exorcism, but the original ending to his little storyline was like a little fucking murder suicide next
Yeah,
door. Yeah,
yeah.
we we didn't go that route, which is fine because now we can have more adventures with Next Door Dave. So
It's true, yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes going the morbid route's not the way to
not
go.
the not the move. Yeah, we do have a few of those though, still kind of tucked away. Those like kind of I would say surprising to our audience that they would not be expecting
But I
with
feel like
Jason
I
Shep.
I feel like going outside the box, you kinda gotta do that. You gotta do something to, like, kinda separate it, you know what I'm saying? And be
Yeah,
like, "This is different." That's why, like, we've already had our conversations about it when you're like, "Well, I'm not really gonna have you play, like, a major role in me because then everybody's gonna be like, it's a Chase and Shep,
yeah,
another thing of
yeah, yeah,
theirs,"
yeah.
you know? It's like there's gotta be some give and take to it, you know? You
Well, that's
gotta
I've run into that before where I've like pitched an idea that like it happens to be like a buddy comedy sort of thing. Maybe it is like a comedy horror sort of thing. And people are immediately like, "Oh, you should just make that a Chase and Shep thing." It's like, but it's not. I hear what you're saying. I know that's like what we do, but like there
this
are other
this is different.
buddies in
Yeah,
comedy, like.
this
But
is different.
yeah,
No, I feel
yeah.
you, man.
But I'm really looking forward to that one. I think that one's really going to. I was telling Phil yesterday. I think it's really going to make or break my confidence level
Yeah.
uh, moving forward. But that combined with our upcoming show, Campfire Stories, getting to sort of go back to Camp Chase and Shep again with a new cast of counselors and some new creatives working with us. This will be the first time, and that's what I love. I guess that's when I say I don't like doing the same thing twice. If on screen it turns out to be the same thing, that's okay. But like in some way, I like to learn. I like to like be leveling up, trying new things, And I feel like we've done that with everything we've done so far. And I think Campfire Stories is that next evolution, where it's like this will be the first time that we are like working in more of a producer capacity, where we have other people kind of working for our show as writers and directors and just different creative voices. And I'm beyond stoked for that show. It's going to be a huge
I
year. Yes,
I'm
indeed.
I'm hyped for everybody's ears. It looks like
Hmm.
everybody every time I'm looking around or getting onto the book and scrolling through it, everybody seems like we're mad working this year.
Hmm.
So I'm pretty hyped to see all the finished projects.
Absolutely.
To tell you the truth, but yeah, no campfire stories. I am pretty hype on. It will be nice, like you said. It's nice to give somebody else that creativity
Hmm.
with the universe. Like, hey, you get a play. So this is not. We don't get to decide what Chase and Shep does in this
Right.
one.
Yeah. Which
Ultimately,
definitely, it makes it the most fun. I mean, technically only one person so far. I mean, we have two people kind of officially on board. One of them we've got their segment in already, and that segment plays with some of the lore we've set up, but has nothing to do with like us. But the other creator is doing a story that involves us, and that it's very interesting to watch somebody else write a Chase and Shep story that we have no control
no
over.
doubt,
It's
no
just like
doubt.
we're just going to show up and do it. So
It
I'm
should be
excited.
pretty rad. Yeah, no, it should be pretty rad, man. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty hyped for everything too. And like you said, just to touch back to to do a sequel that's not a sequel. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? This isn't we're just doing it to do it. It's like no, like it's fun to go back to the place, but maybe not at the place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To get
Yeah.
people like me right now to get you to think, well, are they at the same, or is this a
Yeah.
different, or is it a
Yeah. Where does this take place in all of this mess? You know?
Who knows, man?
it's just to like confuse people like my mother. Like I'll never forget when she watched Hell of a Halloween. She's like, "Isn't this isn't that book and your other thing? Didn't you already do this?" It's like, you don't get it, mom. It's
Get
beyond
it.
you. It's over
You
your head. Can't
you
wait for more camp. Yep, camp stories. I read that right the first time. There's no fire in that. Yep, same,
it
same
should be pretty like I said, it should be pretty cool. We're cooking up some good ideas for it
for sure.
and to get out there
It's
and
an anthology show. I mean, we can at least say that much about it. It's one that I don't want to give away a lot until like we drop that trailer. When we
right.
drop the trailer for people to see all the craziness in this thing, then you'll know. But until then, we'll just
Till then,
tease you. We'll just
just
tease
chill.
you. We'll let you know when when we cast all of our new counselors. So
That's true. That's true. Maybe we'll do a counselor shot back in action.
yeah, back in action. Need to get some new shirts, some new camp shirts. Gear up.
No, it should be like I said. I'm pretty hype, and there's always a few things that happen during the year that we come up with that aren't planned. So I'm excited for that too. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
excited for the fall into place ideas that just seem to happen,
yeah,
align with the stars, and we're like, hey, it's perfect for us to knock out a fucking Christmas story real quick, and
right.
we
Yeah.
do. You know what I'm saying? Because we still have these ideas in mind,
Hmm.
so it's gonna be a fun one, and I'm excited because recently I gotten back into trying to fuck around with some music, so
There you go.
that was pretty cool. I only threw out 2 songs last year. I did it kind of lazy, but I had some songs I was sitting on, and combined with some of these other songs, you never know. You never know. Now,
Oh, I see. I forgot you said that the other day, Belle. Her her aunt JJ, who was gracious enough to make our websites for the exorcism short, is working at a shirt making place. So we might have to give her a call. Old
right?
Camp Chase and Shep. Yeah, you went pretty light on the music last year, and it's funny you say that because I was thinking the opposite for myself. I was thinking about my year last year, and I was like, man, I actually made like a ton of music last year. I dropped the like 20 track one on 420. I dropped one during October, and like I told you, I've had one done since the end of 2022 that I've just been sitting on. I just haven't released it yet,
Right, right.
but I think I will soon. There's no reason not to. I've just been listening to it in my car.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm pretty sure you've played some of it when we've driven places for
Yeah.
me, and
Well,
it's
as a matter of fact, a lot of people have heard chunks of it because I mean, there's at least like a handful of songs that were in like Hell of a Halloween and the Thanksgiving Project. They've been on Monday shows. It's all music that has popped up at one point or another with some other stuff thrown in. But yeah,
it's nice, man. I don't know. Maybe mine was I saw Black Mage over for the Super Bowl and stuff, so maybe it just seeing him just got me like, I
yeah,
gotta make a new.
that'll do it.
I gotta make a new track or something now. But yeah, I don't know. I had a few, a couple. I just don't know what to do yet because it's one of those. It's like, well, I got some Halloween songs. I got some smoking I Love Life songs. I don't know.
Yeah,
I want to put something out on 420, but at the same time, it's like, do I drop an album with Halloween music on 420? I don't know.
little spooky smoke sesh. Who knows?
But then it's like, do I just wait though? Because I could wait and release it, a week afterwards, more towards my birthday as a halfway to Halloween thing. That's like we're kind of smoky, we're kind of spooky. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true. That's true. I mean, technically, the Chicago festival is it's from what I understand, there's like two Chicago horror film festivals now, and this is the halfway to Halloween one, and then they do the Chicago Horror Film Festival, I think, later in October.
Okay.
So this is we are a part of the halfway to Halloween, which gives us reason to celebrate. Right there in between our busy seasons. So
We gonna get a table. That's all I need to holler at them and say, hey, are we getting a table? Because if we're getting a table, then maybe I will drop an album.
right, right,
Maybe I will drop an album that day and be like, hey, why don't you, $5? You can buy my album right there.
yeah. Yeah, I think it
before
would be, fun.
before
I think
Spotify pulls it off or something, you know?
yeah. I think I might have mentioned something to you not too long ago about a certain convention, that I thought we would be good at, because we've never done one of those before, and I think that, we're at a point now where, enough stuff is kinda built up and everything that we could have a solid booth, you know, for
I
sure.
just wish the one thing I've been thinking, to divert, but still kind of be chasing ship, a little off subject here. I've been thinking of, there's one thing that doesn't exist. That was like, how hard would this little business be to get to make? Because I feel like you might roll into a market that doesn't exist from what I'm seeing right now. And that's like, so right now, I've done 38 albums, right?
Mhm,
If I want to get all my albums pressed into like legitimate albums,
mhm,
like physical copies, that means I have to get 100 copies of 38 different albums for like 150, $200 each album I get.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like, why can't I just get 100 albums, but say, okay, I want two of this album, two of this album, two of this album, two, and then I get 100 in total. But
Oh,
it's
right,
like,
right.
then I just have one copy of each of my albums for my own person. This doesn't exist, I don't think, to get like an individually, like say me and you decided, hey, what would be cool for my own personal collection would be to have each of our shorts on its own
Mhm.
Blu-ray, you
Right, right.
know, to where you could send it to a company. Here's how the cover should look. And they just print up one copy and send it back to you.
Right, yeah.
Don't be like, "Oh, you gotta pay us $200 for 50 copies of that." No, no, no. Like, you pay me $30, I'll press this up, I'll send it right back to you.
Yeah, I don't I don't know. I don't know. That raises a lot of questions for sure. I don't
I
know. I feel like that might be a terrible business model, but at the same time, I would use that service. So, it's like,
I feel like so many people would use that service. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. It's
yeah.
like to from what I've been looking at, we know like the Google likes to suppress search results, but
Mhm.
from what I've been looking at, it doesn't exist. Like, it's not like you can just be like, I just want one copy of this made, just one copy of this album.
Right.
Make it and send it to me. It's like, dang, because I'd love to have each album I've ever done on physical CD just sitting here somewhere. But
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not gonna pay. I couldn't even do that math in my fucking head, how much money
I
that
feel
would
you.
be.
I
And
would
then
love
I'd be
to
then I'd
make
have like 2,000 CDs sitting here like, "No, I'm not gonna
right.
sell these."
Just start throwing them out to people. Nobody on Etsy? I mean, probably. You could probably hit up Etsy and be like,
Oh, oh,
"Hey,
yeah.
do this thing for me."
I
Yeah,
didn't
those
think
Etsy
about
those
that.
Etsy folks, they be
They'd be
doing
getting
some
down.
stuff. Yeah, they
They'd
be
be getting down. They'd be getting down. But
um,
I'm just saying, I feel like it would be worth the shit, you know what I'm saying?
for
To
sure.
if it was, you might get to it, yeah, and realize like CD Baby
Yeah.
or something like, oh yeah, you got to do 100.
Right, right, right. Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, my only thing with it would be that, like, with like cost of materials and time and all that stuff. Like, ultimately, it the price you might have to charge for something like this might not ultimately be worth or be something that somebody is willing to pay
It's worth
for
it to me.
this. You know what I
You
mean?
know what?
It's worth it to like us, but it's just like, on a regular basis. I mean, think about you think about this, man. Like, think about all the musicians that we've worked with over the years that like there's
Oh
no
yeah.
chance in hell they'd fucking spend the money. There's things that they won't spend money on now, let alone if somebody's like, well,
I
give me
mean,
like
you
50
could say
bones.
you could say that about me right now, though. You could say, "Well, you're not confident enough in your albums to get 100 and sell 99 of them, so you make some money back." No, I am not. You know what I'm saying? It's streaming literally
Fair enough.
everywhere, and we all pay
Fair enough.
for at least one streaming service. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? So to me, but if we're going to conventions, hey, that's a different
It's a
story.
different story.
You
That's a
get
different
Chasing
story.
Shep's autograph with that. I'll sign the motherfucker right now for you.
Yeah, I've been thinking, obviously we haven't released any sort of physical media like that other than our whoever's out there in the world who fucking picked up those Chasing Shep's 420 special mixtapes at the smoke shops around town, however many
And
years ago that was.
and at our concert thing that
And
we
yeah,
did with
the concert.
Squid.
Yep. Um, thanks.
Well,
That's it. I think that's the only physical media we've actually released is Chase and Shep. But I would love to try to get a little DVD collection together for our 420s after this year. So, maybe we'll look into that if, people would be interested in it. If you need a little, if you got a space on your shelf between Jay and Silent Bob and Harold and Kumar that you need to fill, I
I
know
do.
two guys. I know two
I do.
guys that can fill that
I'd
hole.
love to. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff is pretty dope. And it's like one of those that, like I said, it's I've never been in those positions. I wouldn't really think to press DVDs like that and sell them. But if we're going to like little spots that we can set a
Yeah,
little booth up and be like, hey, look what I got here. Buy this right now.
for sure. Something I don't think I've actually really talked to you about this, but I know we've kind of talked about it in the past, is doing like our own little like Chase and Shep Fest. And I think I might have found a place that might be the place to do something like that. Uh, in,
Jason
in
Shep
in a
Fest.
not too far, not in a not too distant future. So if people want to get down on a Chase and Shep Fest,
I
we
don't know what
can
all
make
that
that happen.
entails, but I'd be down for it.
Well, me neither. I know for sure it would be like a little, like a little. You could do like a little film festival with all of our shit. But like, if we wanted to take it a step farther, we could get a little music going too, little live performances and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, if that's something
Interesting.
people would be interested in, I think we could make it happen. So
No, good thing to hey, good thing to know there. I'm
yeah,
with that.
yeah, yeah,
I'm with that, dude.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Well, fuck it. Let's shift gears. It's enough about us.
What,
Whoever's out there,
what y'all been up to?
what's up? How you been? Have you missed us? I know a lot of people.
Did you miss me?
there's a few people like when I told them that like we weren't going to be back like for the year, people just were like, "What? Like what?" And it's like it makes me feel good.
Like Gella right here. Shout
Yeah.
outs to you, Gella. Hope all is well with you guys as well over
Yeah.
there at Camp Nostalgic.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
What do
you can't. Our stacked year. You can't not mention old Camp Nostalgic. I just saw that they were up to no good with Andy Dew yesterday.
That's what I was just about
Um,
to say. That's what I was
and
just about to say.
allow me to take a moment to pump up Camp Nostalgic Studios because they've got their biggest and best season coming around the corner for Saturday mornings, and they got a brand new show they're working on too to drop around the same time. So they got big things going on over there this year too, and I just love to see the growth, man. I know I'm shooting something with them in a couple of months that I'm pretty stoked about. So
Hell yeah,
it's
dude.
it's all good things over at Camp Nostalgic.
That's what's up.
I love it.
That's
Love to
what's
see it.
up.
I've been looking forward to y'all coming back on Monday. Well, it's good to be back.
It's
And like
good
I
to
was
be back.
saying, those people that like when I did say, yeah, I think we're gonna like maybe take the year off, and like the reactions that we we got from certain people, it it felt kind of good, like what I mean. Like it's just like I was like flattered, and it did make me want to come back. It did make me want to hit these Mondays again because I sometimes we do this and it's like, hello, is there anybody out there? But of course, we know we've got our diehards that will always be here, always support. And honestly, it's you guys that we keep coming back for. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you.
You.
We'll go back to this one. Thank you,
Thank you. Let's see what's
thank
going
you.
on.
It's great to see you two
Thank
grooving on
you.
the tube again. We know who that YouTube user is. Oh, Ron the Man Chevry. If you haven't watched the Who incident yet, I don't know why not. You should.
You can kind of see the poster there shining in the
Just
light
so,
of the
just in
bat.
the back. Is it on Amazon Prime or am I mistaken about that? Is it?
And I believe yes, yeah, I think so. I believe it's on a lot of play. I own it on DVD, so I'm going to
Yeah,
be quite
which
honest with you.
you should too.
You
Keep
should
physical
do.
media alive.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just talking about this DVDs and
yeah,
get there's one you guys can get right there. You won't be
Yes. Yes, it
disappointed.
is on Amazon Prime.
Uh,
The only reason I don't own a copy is because I am one broke bitch. But the moment I have the money, you better believe it's going right there with those other 1,300 movies on my wall.
Look at
Also
that.
on Tubi,
Tubi?
and is that YouTube Stash Chills and Thrills?
Yeah, the YouTube channel, Stash, Chills, and Thrills.
Oh, okay.
I saw you throw that up the other day too. Yeah, so you can stream it anywhere. Literally right now. You can buy it, you can stream it, you can get it.
Mhm. It's a good one. It's a good one.
No, I'm like I said, I'm hype. I had to get like a little poster frame and stuff like that. And I sent you, I even sent Ron a message that it came in this, owl little
Yeah.
background in the poster frame I got for his poster. And I'm just like, man, look at
What are
that.
the odds? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, it's all connected. It's stinking, it's like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So really cool shit, man. I'm glad to be back on a Monday. It feels weird, but
Yeah.
it feels weird when you're not on it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I always kinda know when it's close to 6 p.m., and I'm just like,
Yeah. I feel like I need to be doing something right now, but I don't
"Yeah,
know what. Yeah.
yeah."
I
But,
feel you.
like I said, a little break is always great, you know what I mean? And it's needed so it doesn't become stale.
Yeah.
You gotta let people miss you sometimes.
Right.
You gotta let them be
Well,
like, "Yeah."
in true Chase and Shep fashion, since day one, we do whatever the fuck we want, which is go hard for a whole year, never miss a Monday, and then fuck it, we'll go monthly after taking
Yeah.
some time off. You know.
Yeah, we'll hit you when we hit you. I still like I said, I wanna when we get the ball rolling and going, I still do wanna get, like, even if we just go live one Monday a month, get, like, a little
Hmm.
here's an update, like we used to do the back at the cabins or back at the bunks,
Right,
maybe
right, right, right.
keeping that monkey ear up even though we're not doing the, camp stuff anymore, but keeping that as, like, here's a behind the scenes, what's going
Right.
on, little peek into the world.
Well, Dave and Gella over at Camp Nostalgic do their studio updates every now and then. And Dave has always referred to our Mondays as like our own personal studio updates.
They are, they are.
So it's just like, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to your new creative year. We have such sights to see. Indeed, we do.
We do.
Indeed, we do. We're glad to have you along for the ride.
Yeah.
Um, it's going to be a great time. I can't wait. Uh, I will admit I've been in a bit of a creative funk. I feel like the past month or so, but I feel like this happens. And I was explaining this to Phil, where like something has to come along to just kind of like knock off the cobwebs. Like even if I am doing something creative, like I said, we've been working on Affair for like, we started shooting that in January and stuff. Um, and my heart's just like not really been there. Like it's just like I don't know what's been up. I feel like I get into these modes where like I'm more concerned about life than creativity, but I want to be creative and it's just like not happening. So I do have to just kind of step back, ease up a little bit, and then eventually, we end up doing something where it's like we get rolling on like, our short coming up, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. And then we just hit it hard for like a while. So
No, yeah, it is like that, man. I feel like I was just having a conversation with Aaron yesterday about something like that, telling her how like I kind of got out of the mode of doing music and how it's like, well, with when I was doing it with G, it's like we had a set every Wednesday, this certain time, we're gonna
yeah,
come together, we're gonna do this music. And after a few months you're doing that, it just keeps coming to you. The songs just start coming, coming, coming. And then I've been out of that. So it's like a lot of that is just kind of
I
getting
even
back
think
into it.
the Mondays help with that,
It
immensely. I was thinking about that. I was like, I feel like that's why we need to get back into Mondays, is because, I mean, people wouldn't know it, but even you and I really haven't talked much over these
it's
last
true.
couple of
It's true.
months because we've just been doing our own thing, and like we'll touch base on our
Yeah.
projects and stuff, but we don't talk anywhere near as much as we did when we were doing these
I mean,
weekly shows,
this
where
is
it's
a
like,
fact too.
it's like then we're talking through the week about what we're going to be doing. We're talking every week at least, minimum. So yeah, like I think that distance from everything has had me craving it again, and so just to be back, even just here, is has got me back in the groove and the mood, and I'm ready.
She's back like, damn. I'm like sitting here like, damn. I need a Chase and Shep patch for this vest. Is what I need. That's the patch I need.
I don't know. Absolutely,
I
absolutely. We've been talking on, I think something we haven't brought up that some people have noticed. ChaseandShep.com is not there. I know we typically tell you all things Chase and Shep could be found there. That was never true to begin with, but our YouTube channel, you can find all things Chase and Shep.
most
You
things
know,
Chase and Shep were there, but
technically
not all.
speaking, you could go to where all things Chase and Shep were through there. It was a portal to such things. But yeah, we did away with that because old Sheppy here
It's
is
just
it
a
was
lot of fucking money,
a
dog.
lot of money for something we didn't really keep up on, and
Well, and it really boiled down to that. When you come down to it, it's just like a website these days. Like, it's like, what is a website versus just paying for the domain that just directs you where you need to go? You know what I'm saying, or something. So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Which at this point, Philip and I have been talking about really buckling down and making like a solid Earth 217 website where you will be able to find all the Chase and Shep stuff and then whatever else we do as well under that banner. And then hopefully get a nice little merch store up and running again as well, which I guess technically our merch store is still out there. But it's not readily accessible either. We need to revamp all of it, but we're going to come back fresh, super fresh.
that's what we should have changed the domain name to, is the merch site. So when they came to look for us, it's just like, hey, just get a T-shirt.
Get
It's
a
all good.
t-shirt instead.
Yeah, I don't
I know
know,
you're
but
here just to watch like a free video, but why don't you drop?
hey, props to anybody that's bought a Chase and Shep memorabilia. That's pretty
Mhm,
dope.
mhm.
I've got mine right here in my closet.
There have been a few more. When on the set of Affair, old Steven showed up in his Camp Chase and Shep shirt that he bought from the store.
It's pretty dope.
I was like,
It's
right on.
always rad. It's like, oh man, hell yeah, we're gonna have campers. We're gonna have counselors all over this giant.
I believe Carly, who's also in the comments, I think she bought one as well, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
we
So
gotta spread the counselors all over the United States. Let's all get
I
some.
won't stop until every gas station attendant is asking where this camp is. That,
Yes,
ha-
that was
that
funny.
happened to us. Like, where's that camp located? Said the internet.
It's not.
It's not.
Hey, buddy. It's not.
It's
It's
in
not.
here. It's in here.
Right here too.
Right here. Yeah.
It's in here in the heart. But no, like as like it's dope. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would love to find out. I've looked into all this stuff too in this little break we've had, is look into a way to make some merch, make something. And it's like the easiest thing I feel like to make would be like buttons, but like who wants to buy fucking here, you want a button?
Taylor, getting the groove, making the art come to life. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Taylor, what's up, brother?
Yes, sir. We got some, like I said, Taylor coming up and flipping Susie soon. Great to be working with him again.
Already saw him in Exorcism.
Already saw him killing it in
Yeah.
Exorcism.
That
First thing, he welcomes you in.
he's just
If anything, he's what got us into these film festivals. They shut it off after the first 15 seconds, so they're just like, "That'll do." You know,
yeah. I took one look at him and said, "They're in. Get him.
so,
Book him."
good-looking guy. Let's throw it into the festivals. Ladies will love it.
I still would have, loved to have seen what people had thought of it down there. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
very, very
Yeah,
excited to see what they think in Chicago.
we'll get some merch. Sounds like we need to share the merch link. Gotta find it.
We need to update it. We need to update it too a little bit. I feel like too.
Yeah.
Get some.
The thing with our current merch store and why I don't like the setup is that I want to move to something. I've scoped it out. I think I found a website I like better where like we can upload the design and you can just click on the design and then from there you can choose whatever the hell you want the design on. But with our current one, the way it's set up is like
It just makes everything individual.
every little thing that design is on. So then you've just got like a solid like wall of the same design on different stuff that you wouldn't even know we have another design, unless you like went to like the next page or something. And So we're trying to streamline a lot of that stuff. I mean, that's the reason we never even like we've just been sitting on some merch designs as well. I really would like to get the one out, the bro dude one that Gello made for us with the bloody hang loose hands.
Yeah.
I love that design. I'd love to get that on a hat or some shit. But yeah, well, yeah, obviously, we'll keep everybody posted. Let the people know when the merch store
New
comes.
things to think of in 2024.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So yeah.
It should
Um,
be like
but yeah, like we said earlier, love to see everybody else doing good as well. Um, to switch gears one last time, don't want to forget our roots here. Mondays for the Mind started as Mental Health Mondays, and we've lost some viewers over time because we've strayed away from the mental health love gala, as do we. We would not have thrived as much as we have without
fact,
old Gela
fact,
and Dave as well.
fact.
Um, but yeah, the mental health stuff, and I always enjoyed it, man. I always
Mhm.
enjoyed dropping wisdom and talking on this kind of stuff. And I feel like we've hit it every single year. February is the month of love. It always has been here at Chase and Shep. So first and foremost, hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. Even if you're single, hope you had a good Valentine's Day.
I
Uh,
had a good one. I think this was the first Valentine's Day on Chase and Shep that I've
that you
actually
can say with confidence that you had a good one.
I celebrated with somebody because I feel like the last year episode we did, Christine was on and you were on, and you guys were both relationshiped up, and I was all
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Uh,
Which since then, Christina's gotten married.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
that's what's up. What Sailor's saying here, living the
and living
dream.
the dream, brothers. How about you? Love the hype. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all having me on. It's a pleasure working with y'all, and it's an honor to be a part of the Chase and Shep universe. And he loves drawing and could draw merch designs. Hell yeah, brother. We
Absolutely,
can, we can talk
absolutely,
about that.
absolutely. But yeah, no, very good, man. This month of love
Mhm.
has been good, man. It's been really good. You know what I'm saying? Had Aaron move in. We gotta spend our Valentine's Day together with each other. Just enjoying one another, doing what we wanted to do. So you can't hate on that, man.
No, not
It
at
was
all.
beautiful. It was beautiful, if I'm allowed to say that.
You are. This is a
Thank,
safe space. It always
thank
has
you.
been.
It's
Uh,
very beautiful.
Gala, absolutely. It's one of my favorite merch designs. I love it. Of all the Chase and Shep merch that we have, that's the one that I would like rock all the time.
I'm sure, and like I said, there's a lot, man. We've thrown out so much that there's a lot of little cool designs for this and
Yeah.
that we don't have dropped yet.
Well, I'm telling you, when the merch store comes back with a vengeance, it's coming back with a vengeance. You better believe it. But yeah, man, we had a good Valentine's Day as well. Got out, went on a little adventure. Um, just Belle likes to get out and just drive and go places, and uh, we I'm gonna stick with the Valentine's Day thing now. Everybody's behind us. There's a delay, but yeah, no, we had a good time. We got out, took our little adventure, and it's funny because she likes being spontaneous, and I'm like, I have mad anxiety, so spontaneity is not my bag. But she pitched an idea at one point where she, said, I can plan the spontaneity. So it's like it's not spontaneous for me. I get to plan it. I know what's going on, but it's still spontaneous for her. And that, I mean, I think it's been working well so far. And honestly, I've just been in the mood to just get out lately. And I just feel like I've been cooped up for so long. Whether it was COVID in 2020, and then I just feel like from that point it was just like a lot of being inside. I was a child care provider all of last year, like just working from my house. And I'm not big on going out and stuff. I don't really drink or nothing like that. And but the only time I ever leave the house is to go to the movies, pretty much, or to go film some shit. So I've been very excited to be like, yo, let's just go do things. Let's go see people. Let's go do things. The weather's been nice. Phil and I have been trying to get outside more, enjoy this weather. And
Got to.
I've really just been trying to see, the people I love, man. People I haven't seen in a minute. I've been making plans to go see old John from summer camp. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Me
He hit
neither.
me up the other day. John Cook, who was on our show a couple times for 420,
Nice.
going to see him this upcoming Sunday. Just people I haven't seen in a minute. And I even had a moment, where the universe just kind of guided me yesterday to a long lost friend of mine. Haven't seen this guy in like over 10 years. And dude, it made my day. I love this dude. His name's Alan.
That's
And we
what's
used to
up.
be we used to be homies. Like we worked together at O'Charlie's. And I think about this dude all the time. And it was like one of those buddies, like, we didn't have a falling out or anything like that. Life just happened and we just like went our own ways and stuff. And I'll be damned that Phil was like, "Yo, let's go get some food." I was like, "All right." He's like, "Let's get Cracker Barrel." So we go to Cracker Barrel. They're like 40-minute wait. We're like, "Fuck Cracker Barrel, let's get out of here." So we were like, let's go to Farron's." Farron's is closed on Sundays. So next, we go to Chili's, and the moment we walk in the door, dude walks by, and he and I both lock eyes at the same time, and both have that "oh shit" moment of like, dude, like it was awesome, man. So I'm hoping to kick it with him here before too long. Uh, just shit
Sick,
like
man.
that, man.
That's
It's
sick,
it's
man.
it's
Really is.
Got off work late,
Mercedes.
so happy to see you guys back for Mondays for the Mind. Yes, indeed. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mercedes. It's good to be back.
Good to be back. Good to see you in here.
But yeah,
That's
man,
dope. That's sick. That's always great when you have something like that happen, man. It's always
it's
great.
it's one of those things. I feel like with the month of love, romantic love gets talked about the most. But over the years, I feel like even since I was young, I've always been obsessed with love. Like I've always like I was a hopeless romantic for the longest time. And over the years, as I've grown older, I feel like as I've matured, I have a new vision on love. Like I see things differently when it comes to love. It's a bigger picture,
I
you
vibe with
know.
you on that. Yep.
And I think recently I was thinking people referred to love as like a seed that you plant, amongst other things. It's like it's a seed that you got to water and grow and nourish. And I feel like other plants and stuff that you would plant your seed and shit, as it grows you can always pull a plant out before it's fully grown. You know what I mean? And I feel like people hit that point of romanticism, and then
Yeah.
they harvest that plant thinking, I did it, I got my love, this is what it is. But if you leave that seed in there just like a little longer, it's going to grow stronger, and it's going to grow bigger into something that you didn't know it could be. And I think getting past that romantic love and experiencing that bigger love for people, that selfless love, it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm grateful to have learned that lesson in life.
Nice. Yeah. No, I vibe with you, brother. I vibe with you. Love is great. That's I've had my lessons being younger, losing people. That's made me look
Hmm.
at love in a different light. So I vibe with you hard on that. And same, man, with me getting together with Pudgy and Yanyo over the Super Bowl, getting to see them, you know, adjusting to having, the family and the girlfriend now here in the house with me and planning our life and vibing and thriving together. It's been a month that at the end of it I feel like the love is full. It's there. You know what I'm saying? It's bursting and that's what gives me the energy. Like then the rumblings of we got to get back together, chasing Shep, the bat signals in the sky,
Yes.
shit.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I'm feeling it. It's ready. It's time. Let's go kill it. So it's been a good month, February, dude. It really has. It's been great. I'm looking forward to March. And April and beyond. It's warming up. I'm vibing. I have my window open right now, man. I've had the
Same.
windows
Yeah.
open as much as I can and trying to get that fresh air in and just let it get in there, push me.
Yeah. And I feel like, especially this month of love, I've been presented with a lot of situations where I had to open up my heart to certain people, and like people
Yeah.
who needed just an ear, People, old friends I hadn't talked to in a while, people who I had somebody reach out who things didn't really end on a good note, like 4 years ago, and I hadn't talked to him since then, and popping up out of nowhere, like the love is still there. There it's I've always been that kind of friend. It's just like I'll pick it back up where we left off. Like, even if you wronged me, like we can work through that. I'm at a healthier place too. I'll set boundaries. Your problems aren't inherently my problems. You know what I mean? But like, you
Right,
know,
right.
just being loving, and understanding and caring for people in general. Like, and it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. It's just across the board. I got my son. I got, yes, my romantic love with my girlfriend, of course, but uh, you know, family, all my brothers, all my homies. I just told Phil yesterday. I was like, man, I got the best homies. I really do. I know we don't like all kick it like that, like all the time, but I got the best homies. I really do.
I mean, that's to me, it's all about, like with somebody like Tyler, man, it's like he's somebody that I probably haven't talked to him personally in like 5 days. The love's there. I know right now if I called him on the phone, he'd answer and he'd be over here if I was like, dog, I need you right now here. And same, if he called me and asked me the same, he knows I'd be there in an instant, bro.
Absolutely.
So having that wolf pack in life, dude, is really good. Is really good when you got all these support people that will stand beside you through
Yeah.
everything is nice, dude. It really is.
For sure. And I feel like recently too, I kind of learned, I think everybody's familiar with the phrase, if you love something, let it go.
Yeah.
And I feel like people hear that and they don't really know what that means per se. They think like, oh, you just gotta cut that person, you just gotta let them fuck off into the night, and and that's the end of it. Um, but no, it's that, Bell's gonna be like, oh, this again. But that non-attachment, like in Buddhism and stuff, they really stress like non-attachment. And I think that's for a reason. If something falls apart, if you expect to be with somebody your whole life and you're attached to this idea of that, and then something doesn't work out that way, well, your attachments and expectations are going to ruin the love that's there. But if you really love that person, you're not going to be attached, and you'll let them go, and you'll let them be happy. And that's where that it's a selfless love, not a selfish love. Selfishly, obviously, you want them to be with you, but at the end of the day, if you truly love that person, then what you want for that person is for them to be happy, even if that's not necessarily with you. And it's just, don't be hateful. Don't be a dick at the end of the day, It's like, feel your feelings. You can be angry. You can be sad about situations like this, but, you gotta roll with it sometimes. You
I
gotta,
feel that.
you
I
know,
feel that, man. I think like
life
for me,
changes.
for me and the stuff that I've seen is just like sorry. When you know it's right, you know it's right. You know what I'm saying? When you know it's worth fighting for, it's worth fighting for. And so but like in my past, when it's this ain't it, this ain't it, and this ain't it no more. And yeah, like you're saying, like people's genuine happiness should be like your
Yeah.
overall foundation. Like go on and be happy, because then you will come across your one that's there. And listen, we can get through this, we can sit there, we can work together, and we're gonna vibe and thrive. And that's what it's that's what it's all about, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, if you ask me.
Yeah. And I
Sorry,
think,
me
like I
out.
said, in those events too, if it doesn't work out, if it's not meant to be in that way, that doesn't mean that that love has to be doused out. It just means that that love needs to transform. It needs to change into something else. That's where that letting the seed grow a little longer comes into play. If like, don't harvest it when it's just romance. Let it keep growing. You gotta sometimes, now of course, sometimes things crash and burn and end very badly, and that's not an option. But like you said, when you know. And like, hell, just use like a brotherly example, like when Phil said he was going to move to Michigan, like, like a year ago or whenever that was. Selfishly, I don't want my best friend to move, like I want him to be here with me. I love that dude. He's my brother. It always has been. And, but selflessly, I love that dude, and I want him to be happy. And if he needs to move away and be in a different state, that ain't gonna change nothing. That doesn't change that love. That doesn't change that friendship. Like there's gonna be that distance. We might not hang out as much, but we're gonna call each other. We're gonna text each other. And even if we don't, if we I talk to you in like 2 months, I know we'll pick back up. But
Mhm.
it's like go do what you need to do to be happy. You know,
I vibe with that, bro. I vibe with that. One time for the mind.
one time.
Let the seed grow or whatever.
See, grow. This piece of shit stole my.
No, I was just going off of what you were just saying.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I just like that was like a one time for the mind right there on its own. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, love you should when you're loving somebody, you work it out. It's understanding. Love is understanding to me. You try to understand the other person, they try to understand you, and you work together, you work it through.
Mhm.
So once you find that, vibe in it, let it go, go with it. It'll
Yeah,
work out. It'll
yeah.
work
And
out.
just to stress this message a little more too is part of working it out sometimes is accepting that maybe it's not going to work out, and you might have to that might have to be the option. Maybe you guys aren't the best thing for each other, and that's okay. You can have a different kind of relationship unless you're a couple of toxic motherfuckers or whatever. There's obviously exceptions to the rule, but uh ultimately just being selfless and keeping that open heart, letting
You
the
got
seed grow, as Shep said.
letting the seed grow. You got to work for it. You got to work for love, but it's worth
Absolutely.
it. It's
Yeah.
worth it though. It's so worth it.
It is.
But yeah, man, I don't know. That's a good one time for the mind, I feel like. And it was a nice time back, kicking it with everybody.
It really
Thank
was.
thank you for stopping in, commenting, being here with us.
Mhm.
2024.
2020 more, as Shep put it last year, I think.
Oh yeah,
2020 more. Or 2020 fro if you're hoping that Afro Man's really going to run for president like myself. But we'll see. We'll see.
we'll see.
But yeah, thanks everybody for being here. It was rad to be back in the saddle again.
It was.
I feel like we hit it hard. It was a good episode. Thanks everybody for coming out and supporting again. And I guess we'll catch you next month. And
Next month, yeah, we'll be back. We'll pop in. You'll know. We'll post about it. We'll post about it.
a little monthly for the mind.
Monthly for the mind. We got a little out. I made us a little outro video for tonight, so I'm gonna hit play on that, ladies and gentlemen. Bid you adieu, smooches and the deuces.
Peace.